Most people believe money problems begin the moment income stops, when the paycheck disappears, when the balance drops, when something obvious breaks. But that's not where it starts. Money problems begin much earlier than that, quietly, slowly, almost invisibly. They begin the moment a life becomes fragile. Fragility is when one small failure doesn't stay contained, when one problem pulls another with it, when a single interruption creates a chain reaction, one bill that arrives at the wrong time, one missed paycheck that doesn't recover fast enough, one algorithm change no one warned you about, one bad month that quietly turns into two, and suddenly the problem isn't stress anymore, it's exposure. Exposure is different from stress. Stress still assumes the system will hold. Exposure is the realization that if it doesn't, there's nothing underneath to catch you. That realization changes people. It changes how they sleep, how they think, how they react to pressure. It turns calm decisions into emotional ones, and emotional decisions are almost always expensive. Here's the part no one really explains. Rich people don't wake up more motivated than you. They don't wake up smarter. They don't wake up with better discipline or stronger habits. They wake up protected from urgency, protected from panic, protected from needing today to succeed just to survive tomorrow. And that protection quietly shapes everything they do. Most people build their life like a tightrope. Everything depends on balance, perfect timing, nothing slipping, nothing going wrong. The rent clears, the check arrives, the system holds until it doesn't. And when it breaks fast, because there was never any margin built in. Real wealth is built in the opposite direction. It's built like a structure that expects impact, a system designed with the assumption that something will fail eventually. And when it does, the structure stays standing. Not because nothing went wrong, but because it was built to survive things going wrong. Think about this honestly. If your main income disappeared tomorrow, how long would your life continue functioning normally? Not emotionally, not optimistically, logistically. How long would food still get bought, bills still get paid, rent still clear, without scrambling, without panic, without damage? Most people avoid this question because they already know the answer. And that answer is uncomfortable. Because fear is expensive. Fear forces rushed decisions. Fear makes people accept bad deals. Fear pushes people into jobs they can't leave and trades they can't afford. Fear turns short problems into long ones. Here's the uncomfortable truth most people never hear. Most people are not poor. They are fragile, they don't lack intelligence, they don't lack effort, they don't lack ambition, they lack margin. Margin is the distance between survival and collapse, and wealthy people obsess over it, not in flashy ways, not in ways that look impressive online, in quiet, almost boring ways. Cash that just sits there, systems that don't demand attention, income streams that don't require daily effort to stay alive. From the outside, it looks slow. It looks unimpressive. It looks like nothing is happening. But what's actually happening is insulation. When survival is no longer on the line, your nervous system changes. When your nervous system calms down, your thinking sharpens. And when your thinking sharpens, better decisions become inevitable. This is where the real separation begins. Most people ask how to make more money. Rich minds ask a different question. What would break me if it failed? Then they quietly remove that risk, one dependency at a time, one pressure point at a time. They don't need everything to work. They only need enough things working at once. That's why luck appears to follow them. But it isn't luck. It's reduced exposure. Imagine two people. One depends on a single income source. The other has several small ones. None of the second person's streams are impressive alone. None of them look exciting. None of them look like success. But together, they create stability. When one fails, nothing dramatic happens. No panic, no emergency, just adjustment. And panic is the most expensive emotion in money. Panic makes people sell too early. Panic makes people accept bad deals. Panic makes people rush choices that take years to undo. Wealthy people don't avoid panic because they're emotionally superior. They avoid panic because they've engineered their life to make panic unnecessary. This is the part social media never shows. You see the reward. You don't see the redundancy. You see the freedom. You don't see the buffers quietly stacked behind it. Real wealth is invisible insurance. It's knowing you can walk away, knowing you can wait, knowing you don't need this opportunity to work in order to be okay. That knowledge changes your posture in the world. You negotiate differently, you move slower, you say no more often. And slower is not weakness, slower is control. Here's the shift that changes everything. Stop asking how to get rich. Start asking how to become unbreakable. Unbreakable doesn't mean nothing goes wrong. It means nothing goes wrong fast enough to destroy you. It means failure is slow, recoverable, and educational. Fragile systems demand perfection. Strong systems assume mistakes. Most people build lives that only work if everything goes right. Rich minds build lives that still work when things go wrong. That's why they don't rush. That's why they don't chase. That's why they don't need every opportunity. They only need the right ones. Because time is only valuable when you're not trading it for survival. Ask yourself this. If you had 6 months of real runway, what decisions would you stop making today? What pressure would disappear? What deal would you walk away from? What job would suddenly feel optional? That's protection. And protection compounds. Once you're no longer desperate, people feel it. Opportunities change. Negotiations shift. Outcomes improve. Not because the world became kinder, but because you became harder to pressure. The goal isn't excess, it's optionality. The ability to wait, the ability to walk away, the ability to say no without fear. That is real wealth. And here's the final truth most people never hear. You don't build protection after success. You build protection first. Success comes later. So the real question isn't how hard you're working. It's how fragile your life currently is and what you're quietly doing to reduce that fragility. Because once you're protected, everything else becomes easier. And here's the part most people never confront until it's too late. Every life is fragile at the beginning. That's normal. What isn't normal is staying fragile once you're aware of it. What isn't normal is knowing that one bad week could unravel everything and choosing not to change the design. Because fragility isn't fate. It's architecture, and architecture can be rebuilt. No one becomes unbreakable overnight. Protection isn't created through dramatic moves or sudden wins. It's built quietly, through boring decisions, through restraint, through choosing stability over short-term relief when no one is watching. You don't need millions. You don't need perfect timing. You don't need to escape your life tomorrow. You just need to start reducing exposure. One weak point at a time, one dependency at a time, one pressure point at a time. Because the moment your life stops depending on everything going right, something shifts inside you. You stop rushing. You stop chasing. You stop reacting to every signal like it's an emergency. And that calm isn't laziness, it's power. That calm is what people mistake for confidence. It's what opportunities respond to. It's what changes how others treat you. Not because you became louder, but because you became harder to pressure. So the real question isn't whether you'll ever be rich. The real question is whether you'll still be fragile a year from now. Whether one unexpected bill, one missed check, one sudden change will still have the power to decide your future. Because once you build protection, money gets quieter, decisions get cleaner, life gets steadier, and progress stops feeling like survival. That's when things begin to work in your favor. Not because you finally got lucky, but because you finally designed a life that doesn't break when luck runs out.